Hi, I'm Lana Van Horn and I will be telling you about U and V-shaped valleys. Words to know for this is U-shaped valleys, V-shaped valleys, erosion, prolonged, and glaciers. Erosion is the process of weathering and destructive of a landform. Glaciers are huge icicles, that build up over time and may fall off. U-shaped valleys are carved out by glaciers and they have flat floors, like the land is flat beneath, but very steep walls. And they go out in a U-shape. That's where they get their name from. V-shaped valleys are kind of the opposite, but similar. V-shaped valleys are eroded by water with rocks and sediments in it that go downwards to make a V shape. Here's a good photo or drawing of U-shaped valleys. As you can see, it's even written, it's flipped, after carving by glaciers, and the land is flat beneath, but it has very steep walls and makes a U-shape. This is a little covered, but it's formed by a river, and it has a V shape. That's where they get their names from and how they're different because they're formed differently. Now, some of you may be asking, how does this affect humans or everyday life? Well, if you want to farm on U-shaped and V-shaped valleys, I wouldn't do it. I mean, one of them is literally carved out of ice, and the other one, it's steeper and it's gonna have floods. If you farm there, your plants and food will be flooded and overwatered. Also, I think this is a good example. Hiking, a lot of people hike. You don't want to hike on these mountains. They're steep. You can, but it won't be a fun journey. Also, living life. People do sometimes live on U-shaped valleys and V-shaped valleys, but it will be difficult since over time it will erode and things are gonna move. I also forgot to add, access to water will be hard because of the steep walls. Real life examples of U-shaped and V-shaped valleys are the Grand Canyon, a V-shaped valley, and the Lana Van Horn in Switzerland. I know I botched that name. What is a U-shaped valley's favorite song? The answer is Ice Ice Baby. Here is a great example of a contour map of the Grand Canyon, because if you see, the darker the lines, if it would stop, the darker the lines, the higher the elevation, and the lighter the lines, the flatter it is, and the less high it is. This is the beginning stages of a V-shaped valley in the beginning. As the water goes through time, it will get deeper and make a V shape, shown here. This is a U-shaped valley, starting with a glacier in the mountain, and then over time separating, making the flat land in the glaciers. That was my interactive model of how U-shaped and V-shaped valleys change over time and how they erode. The next slide will be a link to a video to watch to explain U-shaped and V-shaped valleys and also the resources I used. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a great day.